So let's pretend you've got a new client and they've asked you to pay bills for them. And you have a template already set for how you do that. So you would come here to your template list and you would find the template that you want and you would click the button to add a master arrow. So let's do that. This is going to copy the header information in that you had set up in the template. And here we may assign it to whatever person we want to do it. It's going to default to the user logged in. And then you pick which company you want to do that for. Let's do it for Cherries Express. You can fill in some more information about it and then click Save and Edit. At this point, you've pulled the template into a master arrow, and you can now make changes to it, to any of this information and on this next screen that's pertinent to the client that you're now setting this up for. Again, all of the information from the template has copied over to the master, and to clarify, a master arrow is different than a template. It is different than an arrow. A master arrow is that parent that creates all of the recurring, if you will, baby arrows underneath it. So a master arrow gives you the option to schedule recurring individual arrows with all of the information contained in the master. The individual arrows that are related to a master, the baby arrows, are what shows up on your staff's to-do list. So when you create a master arrow from a template, all of that information copied in, all of the steps copied in, you don't have to write that again. Now you can assign it to the appropriate client like we did, to the appropriate staff person, review all the steps. You may find, this doesn't really apply to that client. You might want to delete a step. You might want to add a new step. You can change the order of the steps. Think about it, what's appropriate for this particular situation. And then when you're ready, you can set the occurrences. I'm going to click the Occurrence Options button, and it gives me this section here. Let's say we're going to do it weekly, and I'm going to start doing that as of today. And I might schedule it through the end of the year, and say I'm going to do it on Mondays. I insert those occurrences, and it's going to create those arrows that will show up on your staff's arrow work list on each of these scheduled days. And then you're done. You save and close. And guess what? If you come back to update this master in the future, maybe you need to add a step or delete a step or add a web link on a step or change something up in the header. Maybe you want to reassign it to one of your other staff people. Whatever it is, any changes that you make to the master will update to all of the associated baby arrows that have not yet been changed. Let me jump into that master arrow that we just made. Let's go into it now. Now we're looking at the master arrow. Remember, we're no longer on the templates. We're looking at this master that we set up to do this recurring work for this client. I just want to point out to you that you can come over here and see what days are these scheduled. You might want to come and change one time one of these. Maybe Robert's going to be out and you want to reassign these to someone else. But I want to point out this column here while we're talking about it. This shows if the arrow has ever changed. Once it's changed, any updates you make to the master will not apply to changed ones. But all the other ones in the future that have not changed, then any changes you make will push over to those. Just something to keep in mind. So if you've got a staff person that's already started working on theirs, their arrow will show as changed, and you won't mess with what they're doing. But all the ones in the future that have not changed, those will all get your updates.